In this video I'm going to install a faucet into this vanity. I have the faucet right here. This is a new construction installation, but it's the same for most bathroom vanities manufactured in the last decade or more. It's a standard 3-hole configuration. So I'll start by unpacking the faucet. I've unboxed the faucet. I have the faucet assembly itself and the drain mechanism. I'll set those aside for the moment, and because this is a new vanity, this top isn't glued down to the base yet. So to make things easier, I'll flip it over and install from the bottom. If you have the luxury, it's nice to do that, but in existing applications you probably have to get down underneath here and do this. I will start by installing the drain assembly. This assembly has 2 rubber washers, one that goes on the sink side of the vanity top and one washer that goes here, so it doesn't require any plumber's putty or silicone. Some of them only have this bottom washer, and they recommend you put plumber's putty around here, but again, this one doesn't. So we'll just start by putting this washer on here. We'll just go in from the underside and bring that up. And we want this hole to be straight back because that's where the lever goes to open and close the drain. Now that that's in, we need to install the big rubber washer. I've got the rubber washer installed on the bottom with this flat side pointing this way. Now we need to install this nut. And when we tighten this down, it will seal the drain assembly to the vanity top. And this just needs to be good and hand tight. I don't need to really get any pliers on it or anything. I've tightened down the plastic nut now, and this is secure. This hole here is pointing toward the faucet, so the drain assembly is now installed into the sink. I've changed the position of the vanity top so I can gain access to both sides. Now I need to install the drain plunger. So I'll put that there. And on the other side, we need to install this actuator. This thing moves up and down, and that's what makes the drain work, or the plug. It looks like it just screws in there. We have to align it with the hole on the plunger itself. So we'll do that. So let's go to the other side and make sure it's working. Looks good to me. The faucet is going to be held in place by 2 plastic nuts. To install the faucet, I'll just place it here. We can install these. Now on the underside, we can just tighten down these plastic nuts. Just hand tight. Before you tighten them all the way, it's a good idea to make sure the faucet looks good on this side. We want it to be straight. Looks like it moved a little bit. Next, I will install the actuator rod for the drain, the pop-up drain assembly. Just put that in there. And on the other side, we'll clip this on. And we need to put this actuator in a hole that will allow us to open and close the drain without this being too high or too low. So if about right there for the open position. So looks like about the third hole. Now with the actuator assembly put together, one can open and close the drain from the top. Next, I will attach the supply lines. I've attached the supply lines. These need to be just a little bit more than hand tight. So just snug them down a little bit past hand tight. And next we'll check for leaks by turning on the valves. Note there's no drain, so I'll make sure that the faucet is off. These are on and it looks like there are no leaks. The last step is to install the P-trap to connect this tailpiece to the outlet. I've gathered the necessary parts to put this drain together. This is a 1 1/4 outlet, and this is a 1 1/2 pipe that the P-trap has to go into. So to put this all together, I have a 1 1/4 inch tailpiece extension and a P-trap that goes from 1 1/4 inch at the top to a 1 1/2 inch at the bottom. So I'll put the P-trap on like this, and then I need just a small tailpiece extension to connect the drain to the P-trap. So I need to make this cut here and then put it all together. I used a hacksaw to cut the brass pipe tailpiece extension. So I will now put it all together. All of these nuts just need to be snug. They don't need to be extremely tight. Now I'll just use some channel lock pliers to snug these down a little bit more, and I will have a completed vanity. Thanks for watching.